Yes, please, another one. It's very hot out for June, and I get a bit overheated shopping in the market. Bah! The woman said, snapping off the end of a deep-fried pickle. It is your job to protect us. The others, who you say guard the portals, they do nothing. It is problematic, her friend Javier agreed, chewing quickly to get rid of his mouthful of toasted ravioli. I gave the ravioli a long look, wondering if a little snack wasn't in order after my morning spent combing the antique shops and open-air stalls for the perfect birthday present. But, Carmina, it is not this lady's problem. Our imp situation. We must speak to Giovanna. Bah! She repeated, and gave a sniff that spoke volumes. She has no interest in anything but some maid's sword. You are new to Paris, Guardian? Not really, no. I just haven't been here much since my children were born, I said, smiling and tucking my phone away, lest I make stabby taps on the face of a certain annoying dragon. That was about 2.5 years ago. Much has changed in that time. The woman, evidently named Carmina, said with a dark look at her companion. He nodded again. Things are happening. There are currents beneath, you understand? Deep currents, Carmina said, with another snap at her fried pickle. But come, we are being most annoying, are we not? We have done nothing but talk about us, and not discussed in what way we can help you enjoy Paris. I blinked a couple of times. Bad habit, that. While I wondered when I'd asked for help. I'd entered into friendly conversation with the couple when I sat down at the bar, but I didn't realize they thought I was seeking advice by doing so. I appreciate the offer, but I don't really need help. Not in that way. I made a vague gesture, then giggled. Sorry, it's just that I've got an itch that hasn't been scratched in a long time. An itch? Javier glanced down at my sundress with accompanying bare arms. You have a rash of some sort? Javier, do not embarrass me with your so very madness in front of this guardian. Carmina cast him a look filled with gentle chiding before leaning in close to his ear and adding in a clearly audible whisper, It is sex that is the itch. She is seeking the engagement most sexual. Ah, he said, his gaze flitting over me again, this time in an impersonal assessment. I sat up a little straighter, wishing I'd done something with my hair, which, as ever, was living its own life without regard as to how I desired it to behave. That is so, yes, I see. Each that hasn't been scratched, you permit? He had pulled out a small navy blue notebook and a tiny mechanical pencil, holding it poised over the paper. Javier collects interesting phrases in the English, Carmina explained. Does he? By all means, then, collect away. No. Carmina folded her hands and gave me her full attention. You will tell us what you are looking for in a partner sexual, and we will help you find this scratcher of the itch. Is it a male or female you seek, or do you have a preference, corporeal or not? Are beings of the nature most dark enticing to your itch, or do you prefer less intense relationships? I opened my mouth to tell her that I wasn't looking for anyone, since I had a perfectly good itch-scratcher of my own. But at that moment, the crowd on the other side of the room rippled, and the rise and fall of conversation that filled the Goety and Theurgy Club, better known to denizens of the Paris otherworld as simply G&T, hushed for a few seconds. I leaned out to look around where Carmina and Javier were craning to see who'd come in. 3 men sauntered down a corridor created when the club denizens had parted. The leader, a tall, dark-haired man with the brightest green eyes I'd ever seen. 2 redheads followed him, all 3 walking with the self-assurance that said they knew exactly who they were and their place in the world. The crowd closed behind them as they approached the far end of the bar. I smiled and, picking up my icy lemonade, pulled my purse strap.